In the votes for the final 5 guides, Hanzo was a close second to Zenyatta. This is beta footage, so please make sure you have annotations turned on for any future hero changes. Hanzo Shimada is a wandering warrior who travels the world searching for honor and redemption after he was forced to murder his own brother. Apparently killing more people will somehow make up for beating your own brother to death. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but maybe 300 will. Let's get into his abilities and find out what he's all about. Hanzo's weapon is his Storm Bow. Hold to charge, then release to launch arrows further. This has no resource and so does not require reloading, and the arrows will deal between 30 and 125 damage depending on how long the arrow is charged. It takes 1 second to reach max charge, and Hanzo's movement speed is greatly reduced while charging. The travel speed and arc of the arrow is affected by the charge, so more power not only deals more damage but also travels further. Although the arrows will dip across distance, the damage will remain the same at any range. While charging a shot, it can be cancelled at any time by pressing the right mouse button. Any headshots are double damage. Hanzo's shift ability is Sonic Arrow. Reveal enemies for a short time upon impact. This modifies Hanzo's current arrow with sonar that will reveal any enemies within 10 meters of where the arrow lands for 10 seconds to your entire team. The arrow will still do 30 to 125 damage if shot at an enemy, and if they are not killed, the Sonic Arrow will follow that enemy for the 10-second duration. Keep in mind that Tracer and Reaper can drop the arrow with Recall and Wraith form. Hanzo's E ability is Scatter Arrow. Splits into multiple ricochet arrows on impact. Once again, this modifies Hanzo's current arrow and will make it deal 0 damage on impact, but it will explode into 6 shards that deal 75 damage each for a total of 450 damage. The shards will bounce 3 times before dissipating, and the angle of the bounce can be judged with simple geometry. The momentum of the initial arrow will carry forward, so the scatter shard's initial bounce will always be away from the direction it was fired. Hanzo's passive is Wall Climb. Jump at walls to climb them. Nice and easy, press and hold the jump key to climb walls. Hanzo's ultimate is Dragon Strike. Launch a deadly dragon spirit that devastates enemies it passes through. This is a slow travelling zone of death that does 200 damage per second to anyone caught in its path. It will pass through walls, objects, players and barriers, travelling in a straight line until it disappears off the map. Okay, that's the abilities, so when should you play Hanzo? He is a sniper hero who excels at picking off low to medium health targets. He has a little more objective control than the alternative sniper Widowmaker, but it's still not great. However, as long as your team can make up for this and you can land your arrows, he can work on attack or defense. Hanzo is a hard hero to play. Landing those arrows at any distance is difficult, but at long range hitting a headshot on a moving target can seem near impossible. However, after some practice, it is something that is not only possible, but so satisfying you may need to change your pants after and buy the victim breakfast. There is a training grounds mode where you can shoot at bots. Nothing will compare to playing Hanzo against real people if you're trying to improve, but if you want a safe place to get a feel for the flight of the arrows, then this is a good start. Make it interesting for yourself and try to consistently nail the sextuple kill. Use Hanzo's Wall Climb passive to get to good vantage points and prioritize low mobility targets like Bastion, Torbjorn and his turret, Zenyatta, McCree and even Pharah. Pharah is mobile but tends to hover in the air to get her rockets off and can be a nice easy shot for a good Hanzo. Use Sonic Arrow around a main choke, providing you and your team with the enemy movement so that you can all line up your shots as they come round the corner to deal their damage. Or stick the Sonic Arrow into one of your flanks, giving vital information about any assassins like Tracer, Genji or Reaper so your team can prepare for them. If any of those flankers get through, you can try to put an arrow between their eyes if you can react fast enough and they don't dodge the shot, but a scatter arrow at their feet is a much easier shot to hit. Don't aim the scatter arrow directly at an enemy. If you land a direct hit, all the shards will bounce away from them, and unless in an enclosed space, those shards are unlikely to ever hit them again. Instead, aim at the ground just in front of them, so the first bounce of the shards will ricochet up into your target. Remember, this can do up to 450 damage, so it is great against more tanky heroes. Scatter Arrow can also be used to finish off a low health enemy that escapes around a corner. Chase that corner with a scatter arrow to get the last couple of ticks of damage. Hanzo's weakness is his high difficulty and low mobility while drawing his bow. This is a fast-paced game and it can often be difficult to hit moving targets. When Hanzo then has to move that much slower than anyone else, he makes himself an easier target. Watch out for Genji and Tracer, these guys should be able to dodge your attacks and have an easy time taking you down. And be careful when trying to outsnipe a Widowmaker. The more distance there is between you, the more of an advantage she has. Hanzo's ultimate is difficult to land on enemies. The slow travel time and huge audio announcement means people will usually get out of the way before it can hurt them. It does travel through walls, so you can surprise the enemy with some cheeky damage when they cannot react, and it can always be comboed with crowd control ultimates from heroes like Zarya, Reinhardt and Mei. However, it can also be used to zone the enemy, forcing them to move from any advantageous positions they might have. It's also great against static defenders like Bastion and Torbjorn's turret. They will often not be able to move out in time. And that about wraps up Hanzo. Use his range and his high damage arrows to pick off key targets and show enemy positioning with Sonic Arrow. Then use Dragon Spirit to clear a path for your team to take control of the objective.
Securing the objective. Enemy contact.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button. If you have any questions or disagree with anything, please put it in the comments below. We will be releasing lots more Overwatch guides, gameplay and discussion videos on this channel, so subscribe to get all that future content. Take it easy, and I'll see you soon.